Hey everybody, my name is Jared Blanchard and I'm one of the road disc ninjas with roaddiscs.com. Myself and the other ninjas right now are doing an in the bag series. I'm part of the 2021-2022 road disc ninja team, and so I thought I'd go over what I use while I'm out in the field on my practice rounds and then also in my tournament rounds. First things first is when I'm out on a course where I just want to go and it's quick and I don't know the terrain, or else I know that it's not good enough for a cart. This is my bag of choice. I'm using the Squatch Bag. This bag is very well made and holds just about anything I've ever wanted to carry, which is awesome. Bag side pockets are huge, cooler pockets. I can fit discs in the side, all that. This bag is money, so I love it. Super comfortable. Little phone slot on the side, and then of course got my Rogue Discs Ninja patch that I got from my swag pack being part of the team, and I've got that ironed on the side so I can always represent when I'm out on the field, in the field with that bag. All right, and then when I'm actually out on a tournament, for sure on tournaments, I am rocking the Zuka Transit cart. Now I've got the Transit cart with the Stars and Stripes bag. You can kind of see around there. I've got the Infinite Disc putter pouch as well, and got a bottle holder back there. Up here I've got a RAM mount so I can put my cell phone on here, so while I'm scoring my rounds I can keep track of scores here, and if I want I can quickly angle this up and I can grab a quick video as well. I've also got a GoPro I can't remember, jaw grip or whatever, that I clip right here. It comes up vertical and then I can stick my actual GoPro right on there as well. So here's my tournament bag, and I will go over my discs with you guys right now. Let's see. Okay. So first things first, let's go over my putters. Now this putter bag is awesome. It carries so much. So I just decided about 3 weeks ago to start throwing these, or to start putting with these Recos made by Castaplast. Now this is the K3 line. I love this feel. It's actually a similar putter to the Aviar, which I started putting with classic Aviars, and this disc is very similar shape. The most micro bead ever on the bottom, which for me isn't a big factor for me for putting. I like it, but I'm fine without it. But this is such a tacky grip that it puts it above the Aviar in my opinion. The numbers on it are 3301, so it's a straight flying putter with just a minimal fade at the end. Inside the circle, the putters don't really matter, just as far as how it feels for you. So I decided to start putting with these, and so far I'm really liking it. Then I get to my extreme ends of the spectrum discs. So first things first, my forearm approach disc is my Entropy. This thing, a lot of people will throw the Zone or the Harp or the Entropy. Those are really the primary ones that I've heard of. This disc is such a perfect disc for me. It's in this plasma plastic. It's the most attractive plastic in my opinion, but I love how it feels. I love how it throws. You get that right, just the light just right on these things, and it's such a pretty disc. But I can use these, I can backhand these and have it hyzer in, or I can forehand. I can flex this. I can forehand it and have it just fade out nicely to where it lands level, or get that nice S flight out of this. So this is for my overstable approach disc, the Entropy. Now for an understable disc, I use the MVP Spin. Now this is also this is my backhand disc on if I need to go left to right on a throw that's within 100 feet. If it just isn't right for a forehand and I need to backhand it, then this is the disc that I use. It's the in the Neutron plastic. I've had these discs in all different plastics, but obviously this is a throwing plastic. The numbers on it are a 2.5 speed, a 4 glide, which can send it, and then a 2.5 turn, and then a 0 fade. So it's very understable. It's similar to the Fierce in the understability, a little more understable than a Proxy, but great disc. Then for my dead straight, no glide, I don't want to glide, I want it to just go exactly where I want it to go, where I'm going to throw it. That's this Nexus Plastic Animal by Innova. The numbers on it are 2101. I also have the Reco in a throwing plastic, the K1 line, which is a 3301. So, you know, the turn and fade are the same on the Animal and the Reco, but if I need glide and to get it there, then I'll throw the Reco. And then if I need it no glide, if I don't want it to get away from me, get out of hand on my throw, then that's where the Animal comes in. And then of course a Pig gives me a lot more distance than my Entropy, but it still gives me an overstable finish, a fade at the end, which I like. Forehand also, if I need it, if the Entropy is not the right one. Most of the time I'm going with the Entropy, but this disc is if I just need a little bit more glide and then that fade at the end. So the Pig, of course. Also, fun fact, I've only thrown one ace in my whole life, and it was with this disc, and nobody was there to see it. So I don't even know if it really counts. But this is the one. So obviously my ace disc, unsigned, no witnesses, it sucks, but that's all right. Love this disc. Now for putting, when it's a little more windy than normal and I need just a little bit more fight in the wind, then I've got the Jawbreaker Challenger Os by Discraft. It's very similar to the Pilot in the field, which I love the Pilot, and I've putted with the Pilot quite a bit for a while. But this just gives me a little bit more stability in the wind. Just kind of like a security thing if I need it. So I carry that as well. In my bag, I've also got, by Infinite Discs, I've got this little knee pad, which can be used as a mini marker, but I've got really bad knees, especially one in particular, and this cushion is money. All right, so let's go to my discs inside my cart. Usually I've got a little towel clipped up here as well. Okay, we'll start with just a couple extras. One extra putter, my Reco, for beginning of the round before the tournament round starts, and that way I've got 3 putters to throw, and then one extra of my Crazy Tough Challenger OS's, so that I got a couple of those to throw as well, to putt with. Okay, for my mid-ranges, I think MVP and Axiom have the mid-ranges down pat. They are the best mid-ranges in the game, in my opinion. For a very overstable mid-range, my flight numbers on this MVP deflector is 5, 3.5, 0, 4. So it's a meat hook for a mid-range, which I love. In case I need to really get some hard hyzer on this guy, that's where this one comes in. The Pyro is also a very overstable disc, but not as overstable as the deflector. This Axiom Pyro is one of the prettiest discs that I own until it just got ran over by 3 garbage trucks this last weekend. That's what I get for throwing it in the road. Literally a train of garbage trucks, one after the other. All 3 of them ran over this. It's so messed up. But this is in the plasma plastic. It is really pretty, but I can get a really good S-flight out of this, but this one will actually give me a lot more distance than that deflector will, and more than my Pig. So I really like this Pyro. This is one of my go-tos. Honestly, I throw this more than a lot of my discs. A couple more mid-ranges that I bag is this Neutron Hex, Neutron plastic made by Axiom. This Hex is a straight flyer. It's got a -1 turn and a 1 fade. But at the right distances, it'll just go straight. If you need it to do anything you want, it will do it. You can go Anheuser with it, you can go hyzer with it, and it'll hold that line. The reactor gives you just a little bit more stability if you need a little bit more stability on your distances, or if you don't need it to go as far, but you want to push it, this will go. The numbers on this is a 5.5, -0.5, and then a 1.5. So a slight bit of understability with a 1.5 fade. All right, and then for my Fairway Drivers, I bag 3 Craves. I love them. They're in different weights and then different plastics. I've got 2 of these. This one's brand new. I just put in my bag. It's 159 grams, lightweight, Neutron plastic. It's a Sarah Hokum Crave, 6.5 speed, 5 glide, -1 turn, and a 1 fade. Besides it being just absolutely gorgeous to look at, this disc is a straight flyer. This disc is, for my arm speed, I'm not getting much further with any other, you know, high distance or high speed discs. And so this thing is, these discs are just about all I need on the course, honestly. But I keep trying other discs too. So I've got this one. I've got 161 gram. I did a 1-disc challenge video with this disc, so you guys can see how this worked for me. Okay. Could have thrown that higher and it would have hyzered out more, but I kept it low and basically threw it dark. And then in the plasma plastic, 172 gram gives me just a little bit more stability on this when I got a little bit of a breeze or a little bit of wind that I'm working with. Then in my 9 speed category, I've got several discs that I'm working on. I've got an understable virus, 9 speed, 5 glide, -3.5 turn, and a 1 fade. This is a money backhand turnover throw that just needs to go on a left to right. When a forehand isn't going to do it for me and I need it to push further, I can get this one to go forward and then still, but just carry and hold that line. Love that disc. And then the Insanities are favorites of mine as well. 9 speed, 5 glide, -2 turn, 1.5 fade. So it's an understable disc, but honestly, this thing is more stable than the numbers ever say. I'm always trying to flip this thing, and this disc is actually pretty hard for me to flip. So I get on the Proton plastic, I get a pretty overstable finish with it in the 172 grams. On the Cosmic Neutron plastic in 158 grams, it's lighter weight, but I can get this one to S-turn a little bit better for me, so I can get a little bit more distance out of it when I need it. Good forehand discs for me. These are actually, I skipped these. In the 9 speed, I bagged 2 of these Discraft Undertakers. This one I've had the longest in my bag, and it's the most beat in, so I can actually get a lot of distance with it, which I love. But when I want that same type of flight, same feel, but get a little bit more overstable finish, this is a newer Undertaker in the titanium plastic, which is not as beat in at all, and so it's a little bit more overstable. This is a 9 speed, 5 glide, -1 turn, and then a 2 fade. The Undertaker is a great disc, love it. In the 11 speed, my Photons, these are what I use kind of as like a Wraith type of a disc, a slower speed destroyer. It's got a 11 speed, 5 glide, -1 turn, and a 2.5 fade. So I've got this disc in a lightweight plastic, 158 and 174. So that way I can get a little bit more different, you know, a little more stability, a little more fade at the end if I need it, carry a little further this way if I need it. But this is mostly my forehand disc. I used to carry the Fission plastic, but those have beat in quick. I've gone through a couple of those and then they get a little flippy for me. So going for these Cosmic Neutrons, which give me a little bit more stability. All right, and then I carry these just because sometimes if my other discs aren't working for me, then I'll bust these out. The Hades by Discraft and the Thrasher by Discraft. Both of these are 12 speed discs. They both have a -3 turn and then a 2 fade. The Hades gives you a 6 glide though, so a little bit more of a glide, and the Thrasher a 5 glide. But this disc, the Thrasher, is flippier than the Hades. So if the Hades is great for me, then I don't need the Thrasher. If it's not working for me, then I'll break this out, and then I'll get a little bit more of an S flight out of this. If it's windier, then obviously this one has more stable finish to it out of the two, and so I'll use this one. But usually if it's windy, I'm not throwing these ones unless I'm desperate. I carry a couple overstable higher speed discs. This Fireball is a 9 speed, 3.5 glide, 0 turn, and a 3.5 fade. This guy I can forehand and get a for sure S flight out of it, or if I just need to spike hyzer something in and make sure it's going to land on an island over at Fountain Hills or something, this is the disc that I go for. The Onyx by Discraft, I dyed this one myself, I love it. It's got a 6 glide on it, a 10 speed, 0 fade, or I'm sorry, 0 turn and a 3 fade. So this is a really nice, got a lot of glide for how overstable it is, and I'll backhand this or I'll forehand this. This one's actually a pretty versatile disc for me. I love this in the woods when I really have to shape my shots, because it's got such a good finish at the end that I can push it far enough that I need to, and then it'll get around some trees and fade right. Or if I'm backhanding, get it to fade left. So these are really good discs. Just a couple that are in my bag that I'm testing out right now. The Essence I used to throw, I'm trying to figure out if I want to bring this one back for a -2 turn and a 1 fade, so an understable disc. It's a great disc. Like I said, I used to throw it, but it's been a while. And then I've got this Katrina Allen, 2-time world champ. This is her F7, so it should be very understable. I threw one of these. In fact, when I bought this, I bought 3 of them. I threw one, didn't know how it would fly. I literally knew nothing about Prodigy discs, and I lost it way over a fence. And when I went back after my round to get it, somebody had found it and kept it. So I'm gonna go take this out to the field and try that again. My minis, I've got some really cool Bergs. This Castoplast Berg, I've got a Reco mini. I've got a mini on the way from one of the Rogue Disc Ninjas that he makes with his 3D printer, which is I'm really excited about. In my bag, I also carry the Bushnell rangefinder. This thing helps me know how far I threw, which I really like, which is helping me dial in my discs a little better. Here's another Castoplast mini. I've got my retriever down here in the corner. I don't know if you can see. Got this little guy that actually is pretty long, so I carry that in my bag. I've got a knee brace in my bag. I always bring an extra pair of socks for those rounds where, you know, my feet are hurting or whatever. I'll sometimes bring an extra pair of shoes and socks in my cart. And then one of those coolers too from Zuka. That pretty much does it for my in the bag. I appreciate you guys watching. This ran a little bit longer than most. I carry a lot of discs and I also ramble a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also look for the link for my Instagram account. My Instagram handle is jblanch.dg. My name's Jared, so the J, and then Blanchard is my last name, so Blanch. jblanch.dg. I'm going to be posting all my own videos on there as well. You got photos, you got videos, disc reviews, all that stuff. Hopefully they put that link in the description of this video. But in the meantime, check out all the rest of the Rogue Ninjas as well. Huge shout out though to Rogue Discs. RogueDisc.com is one of the best online retailers in the game right now. Their shipping literally is always at my house in 2 days. I order Monday morning even, and it's out that day, and I get it Wednesday afternoon. So they are second to none as far as shipping goes. Their disc selection is massive. I think they said they have like 50,000 plus discs in their warehouse right now as we speak. The other thing I gotta say about Rogue Discs, you guys, is Rogue Discs is generally cheaper than anybody else as well. I've shopped, before I became a part of this team, I've shopped on Rogue Disc. I've shopped on several other websites as well. I've built my cart, I filled my carts online with discs that I wanted to buy in different retailers, and then I fill it with Rogue Discs as well. Guess what? Rogue Disc generally beats out these other retailers by $2 to $3 a disc. And so add that up for a shipment of, you know, 6 or 8 or 10 discs that you buy, and you've just saved yourself a bunch of money. So RogueDisc.com literally is the place to shop. I'm really happy to be on their team. Appreciate you watching. You guys have a great day, and hopefully this sport can just keep growing the way we've seen it the last couple of years. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.